Welcome to the Golden Group Real Estate Podcast with Troy Golden, a SeizeYourBusiness.com podcast produced by Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. To reach Troy Golden, you can email him at troy@goldengroupcre.com. That's troy@goldengroupcre.com. To reach me, Kevin O'Flaherty, you can give me a call at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. Enjoy the podcast.
I'm here today, Troy Golden, with Alex Jacobs of 3 Planets. We're going to talk about company websites. How are you doing, Alex?
I am spectacular. How are you today, Troy?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
Thanks.
Good.
Thanks for asking, and thanks for being my very first guest.
You knew the job was, Fred, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
You can't make me laugh too much.
Oh, yes, I can. I can. But well, let's get serious for a moment here. Yes, thank you.
I'm recovering from a cold, so try not to make me laugh too much.
All right then.
So,
they say that laughter is the best medicine. You know that.
That's true. Now, your company, it's 3 Planets, and you specialize in websites for businesses.
Businesses and non-for-profit organizations. The company name is 3 Planets Internet Solutions.
Why 3 Planets, and which 3 planets are those?
Why 3 Planets? When I started this company back last century, we've been in business since 1999, so I think we know what we're doing. But anyway, at that time, we were just putting together the business, and Jet Propulsion Laboratory had announced the discovery of the first 3 planets outside the solar system. And I thought, gosh, 3 planets, that's a wonderful name for a website. It has a number, which always ranks higher than letters, and it's evocative of the new world. 3planets.com. Let me see if I can grab the domain name. I grabbed the domain name, and here we are.
Nice.
The fact that the 3 planets are all gas giants and worthless is, well, never mind.
Well, that's a catchy name.
It is.
And how long have you said you've been in the business for a while. When did you learn programming and specifically doing websites?
Oh my gosh. Programming. I have been programming, well, let me put it to you this way. I am, as far as I know, the oldest full on both sides of the family, 2nd generation computer brat living. Mama started programming in 1958. At that time, my dear father was selling computer systems, large computer systems, to government and military and such. So you might say I've grown up with it.
Almost as long as there's been computers.
Almost, not quite, but almost as long. I had a previous company, part of a previous company that did software for banks and real estate investment analysis tools. So I learned very early on that in order to write, I should say, a good program that solves a problem, you have to understand what problem you're solving. So one of our strengths is in understanding your business and what makes you unique and what drives your business. Where's your philosophy?
So I started a business last year, broke off on my own after being in real estate for 5 years or so. What should I know, or viewers listening to us now, what do we need to know about domain names when we're launching a website?
Well, first of all, what is a domain name? A domain name is a arbitrary set of letters and characters, numbers, that are unique to a specific website. You purchase a domain name through a domain registrar, and you can purchase a domain name for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, however many years you want to spend up front. You also have the right to renew that domain name. It's important to understand that this is not a purchase, but it's a short-term purchase. So therefore, you have to keep track of when did we reserve this domain name? With whom did we reserve this domain name? What is the email address and password and user ID that I gave when I signed up for the domain name? That's all very, very important. That's information that I, as a web host, as well as a web developer, needs in order to make sure that things run right. What you want to be careful of is making sure that your domain name is maintained. A domain name is much like a telephone number, and we now have telephone number portability thanks to our wonderful government. And domain names are the same thing. If your domain name changes, it's a hassle to go back and tell everyone, no, don't look for me over there, look for me over here. Bad enough with email addresses. But you want to make sure that you keep your domain registration information in a safe place, that you know where it is, and on an annual basis, an annual checkup, you go back and you make sure that A, the domain is still there, B, everything is pointed correctly, and C, that the information is current. Otherwise, your domain name can get into trouble.
With services like WordPress or Blogger, is it possible or is it advisable to build your own website, at least at first, as kind of a money-saving trick, or are there some pitfalls there?
I might turn that question around and say, if I'm a business, is it a good idea for me to negotiate my own leases? The answer is sometimes yes, but most of the time you will save money, time, which is money, and get a better product by hiring a professional. Let me make a distinction. WordPress has two functions or two sides of the business. One is open source software. Open source is software that has been developed by a bunch of volunteers to solve a problem. WordPress, the software, is the most popular content management system in the world. As a matter of fact, there are occasional reports that even extraterrestrials use WordPress to do their websites, but I don't know about that. All joking aside, the company WordPress hosts websites and does other things for hosts, for people who want to have their website done. Is it a good idea to do your own website? Well, it depends on how busy you are and how much time you have. If the word of phrase is much like you in commercial real estate. Is it a good idea for me to negotiate my own lease? Well, if I do commercial real estate for a living, probably not. No, I'm joking, but you know, it's the same kind of a thing.
Yeah.
What do I do well? What is it that I don't do well? If I don't do it well and I don't have an expertise in that area, yeah, it's a good idea to understand how to add content, add posts and such. That's very valuable. But actually designing the website, actually keeping up with all the plugins and all the coding and everything else, no, that's a career in and of itself.
Well, speaking of design, and what are some good elements typically of a website, or what should you at least look for when you're retaining someone?
What makes a good website? That's an open-ended question. I'm glad you asked me. Let me cover a couple of things here, and we can go on a bit. Number one, I look at structure of a website. How does it put together? How is it organized? If you get the organization pretty well correct, then you have a better shot at getting search engine optimization to work and a whole bunch of other important things that go along with a website. So number one, the website has to be organized in such a way, and your structure of your website has to be done in such a way, I should say, that people find what they're looking for. The rule that we've always used is find it within 3 clicks or lose forever a viewer. When your home page opens up, it has to very quickly establish who you are, what your business is, and have a strong call to action on the home page. Above all, a good website engages people. It tells people, yes, you're in the right place. Yes, you have found what you're looking for, and now how can we help you? Number 3, I think it has to have engaging graphics. Graphics, pictures, images are an important part of a website, and oftentimes it's difficult to find the right image. You need to be careful. You just can't go to the internet and grab an image off the internet and put it on your website. When you do that, people come along and say, excuse me, I own that image, and oh, by the way, you have to take down your website, please. as a web host. When I get that request, I take the website down, and then we argue later, but you lose. So it's important to understand intellectual property. Let's see. The writing, content, number of pages. You want a lot of pages, a lot of content, which takes a lot of time. I mean, there's no magic here. When you say build your own website, Troy, what you're really saying is, should I add content to my website? And the answer is yes. You should build your content. You should add content on a regular basis. When people come back, they want to see something new, something different, perhaps something controversial, certainly something of interest, something that they find interesting. Finding good authors and good writers to write is difficult, but that's what drives your website. So we have engaging content. We have easy navigation. We have engaging pictures. Oh, by the way, your website must, dare I say, must again, work well with these horrible things called cell phones and tablets and such. Over 75% of people who look at the web do so through their cell phone. That's an important number, and recently it's kind of gotten stabilized a little bit. I expect in the next couple of years we'll see more than 80% penetration of people looking at websites through their phones or their tablets or other devices that we don't even understand yet. Your smartwatch or whatever. The object of your game should be write once and display it in whatever format or whatever presentation your viewers want to see it. There are people who do websites where you have one set of management for your desktop, one set of management for your cell phone, one set of management for tablets. That's not a good way to do it. You're confusing the issue and building more content than you need. Real easy to get confused and have 3 different versions of the same article out there, which is death. Not good. But in short, that's pretty much what makes up a good website. You have to have someone working with you, I think, my bias, someone working with you to help you through this, to act as a consultant and to shorten your learning curve.
Speaking from personal experience, could you speak a little bit about owning the content? Because I've gone into a little bit of trouble about this.
Yeah, owning content. The problem is that in a lot of places, a lot of do-it-yourself websites, I shall not name names, they say, fine, you can build your own website, and the interface is wonderful. But when you read the fine print, it turns out that you don't own nor control your own website, your own content. Give you a good example, for instance, Facebook. Wonderful Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. Facebook is wonderful. I'm there too. You can find me in a couple of different ways. But on Facebook, once you post an article or pictures of something, it belongs to Facebook. It doesn't belong to you anymore. Twitter, same way. YouTube, videos, where we're viewing this video if you're on YouTube. Eventually, great website, has tremendous technology, does wonderful things, but you don't own the video. So make a backup copy, please. Make sure that there's a backup copy on a hard drive in your office and make sure that that's kept in a safe place. One of the largest producers of YouTube content had his website taken down, had his YouTube channel taken down in its entirety. This individual had 1.5 million registered viewers, who has subscribers to his channel. That's a humongous number. Most YouTube channels are thrilled when they get more than 1,000 subscribers. Now this man has 1.8 million at last viewing this morning of his numbers. He got taken down. YouTube didn't care. You violated their terms of service, which are written in such a way that allows them to do pretty much what they want. Surprise, surprise. And he was down. All of his life's work, thousands upon thousands of hours of video was gone. that's not an investment that you want to throw away. So our advice is for you to control your own website. Make sure that you own the domain name. Make sure you have complete access to all the control panels and such, and make sure that you have someone who you can work with, who will warn you when you're running into trouble, and be there to help you out. As we said before, WordPress, the WordPress content management system is one of the most popular content management systems in the world. The problem is, because it's so popular, a number of nefarious people want to hack into it. So you want to make sure that your website is kept up to date, that whoever hosts your website is there and actively employing and applying patches to your website, both for the WordPress engine itself as well as helper programs like plugins. That's very, very crucial. You want to make sure that that's taken care of. If not, your website gets out of date, your WordPress engine gets out of date, and pretty soon it just doesn't work.
Well, I think we're approaching our end date. Could you tell our viewers how people can reach you for more?
You can find us on the internet. Pardon my radio announcer voice, but you can find us on the internet at www.3planets.com. That's the number 3 planets.com. You can find us in the yellow not the yellow pages, for crying out loud, but you can find us there if you put in 3 Planets Internet Solutions into your search engine of your choice. We'll come up. You can also reach me at my telephone number 708-383-6930, and yes, I do answer my own phone.
Oh, great! Thanks for coming on, Alex. I really
thank you for allowing me to be your guinea pig, Troy. I have to say, you've done a tremendous job building your business, and we look for great things from you. And I'm happy to try and sell you something at one point in time or another.
Will do.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for listening to the Golden Group Real Estate Podcast with Troy Golden, a SeizeYourBusiness.com podcast produced by Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. To reach Troy, you can email him at troy@goldengroupcre.com. And to reach me, Kevin O'Flaherty, you can give me a call at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. Thanks again for listening.